pleasure now to introduce all of you, BYU Sports Nation, to one of the new guys on the BYU football staff. Kind of, because he's already been around. BYU Linebackers Coach Kevin Clune with us. Coach, welcome to BYU Sports Nation officially.
Well, great to be here. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to get started in spring ball.
Now, I know that you've already been working with the BYU staff, but now it's in an official capacity for the entire public to know. So naturally, we want to know all of the most interesting things about you. So let's put you right on the spot. What do BYU fans not know about you that they should?
I don't know. I mean, I've been around Utah. I worked at, I was a GA at University of Utah. I was at Southern Utah. I was at Weber State. I was at Utah State. And I don't know is there another person that's worked at all 5 schools? That's I'm not sure.
Maybe Steve Clark.
Yeah, I worked with Steve at Utah, but I think he's only got 4 maybe of the 5.
Yeah, 5's pretty good.
Dick's involved, so I got to maybe retire down there or something.
It's a nice place, right? Tell us about what you did this last season, because we talked about it a little bit in December, and then in January 5th, I said, hire Kevin Clune. It's a natural choice, so I'm glad they hired you. But walk us through kind of your involvement with BYU last year.
Well, it really kind of came on in the end when, they inked the Navy and the Army games, and I really wanted to be involved to help, whatever in any capacity that I could. I was at Memphis and we played Navy the previous 2 years, and I thought played them pretty tough. So I wanted to help, whatever I could. I have all this film, I have all these, this defense that should be good, and it kind of just grew from there. I just wanted to come down and help out any way I could, and I've known, Kalani for 20 years and Aaron Roderick for 20 years, and just it was just kind of a natural fit.
So should we officially give you those 3 wins then on your resume against the American Athletic Conference specifically?
Yeah, it's all me. Yes, exactly. Couldn't say enough about the kids, especially starting with the Navy game, how they came out and just played hard. I mean, obviously everyone knows that's a tough team, and the kids came up and just controlled the line of scrimmage and did everything that was asked of them. So, I couldn't be more proud of being a part of that.
Kevin Clune with us on BYU Sports Nation, new BYU Linebackers coach. Let's rewind to your first interaction with anybody on the current BYU football staff. Where did those relationships initially begin?
I met Aaron probably, I want to say 2001, briefly. And then Kalani, Aaron, and I all worked together down in Southern Utah. And, it's a great place to start because there's not a whole lot of, people watching everything, so you can make mistakes kind of down there and all that. And we had a good team, and I felt we kind of built that team. We were only there for about 2 years, and we had a good squad of Utah kids that a lot of Snow College players, a lot of local kids, and it kind of all blossomed from there.
You've got a history of playing against BYU when you were at Utah State, obviously 09-13, highlighted by that 2012 team, which was incredible. And, of course, BYU and Utah played this 6-3 of a dud game, but it was an interesting one in 2012, a great year for the Aggies. And then, obviously, you end up at Oregon State taking over as the DC for Kalani Sitake once he left, not to mention your Southern Utah ties. So it feels like you've been hanging out and/or following Kalani a little bit over the years.
Yeah, it's we've become just good friends, and we just talk ball. We all come from that Kyle Whittingham style of defense, and so when we can talk ball, it's like we're not talking the same language a lot of times. And there's been we've both evolved into a lot of different ways, but it's just good to be back with good people, good coaches, and good kids.
Kevin Clune, new linebackers coach for BYU Football, with us on BYU Sports Nation. If you were to poll players from any team that you've coached with, how would they explain your personality as a coach?
Oh, man, I don't know. That's hard to explain. But, there's an initial level of gruffness that maybe that maybe that you get right away, and it's like, oh, wow, it's maybe seems a little standoffish, but after you kind of get to the hard work of things, it's I don't know. I think I'm an easy guy to work to play for. So
Tell us about your linebacking group. Obviously, a group that has some talent and talent returning. We're a couple weeks away from spring ball. So what do you feel like you have there, and what do you feel like you need to develop even further?
Well, it was, really good. I got to meet these guys and was just, really impressed with how they just come out to work every day, and they're very even-keeled kids. It's they got talent, they got size, they got speed, and I'm very pleased to be involved with this group. Starting off with Peyton Wilgar, very versatile player. He can play the outside positions and the inside positions, and maybe even we put him up at like a DN position. He can do it all, and he's always the guy that we're thinking when we put in a new defense. Well, Peyton would be perfect for this. Well, but we got to move around the other pieces of the board. And so he's got a tremendous future. Still young players. I mean, I don't know if I have a guy on the linebacker on the roster that's older than a junior. I'm not sure. Then you got Keenan Peely, who is local kid. Came from the safety position in high school, but has really developed into a linebacker and a hitter, and a guy that you don't want to take on head up. And he's a quiet leader, and again, a solid, tremendous player. And then you've got, guys like Max Tooley. You're quick and, again, very versatile, and we're expecting a lot of things from him. And then you got Drew Jensen and Jackson Kafusi coming back. And then, I'm very just pleased with this group. There's a lot of hard work there. There's a lot of production there, and I think that they can even go to the next level.
When you compare what BYU football did in 2020, 11-1, incredible run. Of course, we mentioned the 3 wins against American athletic teams. And you compare it to what the schedule brings up in 2021 with 7 Power Fives, what goes through your mind?
Well, the just one at a time. The Power Fives, they're great and all, but they're all winnable games. You just got to take it all one game at a time. We've got some experience with the Pac-12 teams. Got some experience with South Florida that we play later on. I'm drawing a blank, and then obviously the Mountain West teams. But each one at a time. It's a very, very good schedule, very, lofty schedule. But you take them all one at a time, and I think that they can be handled.
Certainly, we're hoping that things return to normal for life and football and whatnot. But it'd be fun to have fans at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas for that opener, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that'll be great. It was very strange. I coached junior college back in California like 25 years ago, and you could literally count how many people were in the stands at some game. And so it brought me back to that. But it didn't matter. The kids brought energy. Kalani was bringing energy on the sideline. And it's a shame that these guys didn't get to showcase what they do, in front of 60,000 people or whatever. But in the end, they just came out to play. And so, that was good. But it was definitely the first game at Navy. It just felt weird when you took the field, and it was just kind of scrimmage-like. It was very strange. But, the kids performed. They did a great job.
I'm thinking specifically about Billy Nixon, who started a Dance Dance Revolution along with Jason Gerfusi, as well as Kalani Sitake. Jason Ayu, I should say. So let me correct myself. How are your dancing skills when you look at those guys?
Yeah, horrible. I was called into some part of that, and I was like, I'm not gonna. Let's just keep my dignity over on the side. But yeah. It's maybe I gotta maybe for some giant game maybe I'll jump in, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's gonna take a lot.
Who are some of your primary influences? Growing up as a young coach and now as a more experienced coach, who do you draw upon for influences upon the way you coach the game?
There's a lot, and a lot of guys no one's ever heard of. I coached at a high school, Dos Pueblos in Goleta, California, and 2 coaches there, Coach Hesselmeyer and Coach Scott O'Leary, were tremendous. My old high school coach, Norm Costa, great guy. Junior college coach that I played for and worked for was Gene Murphy. He was at Cal State Fullerton for 100 years. I mean, these are all people that you've probably never heard of, but it does. I can go all the way back to my Little League coach was Jim Bernardaschi, who was a tremendous man. And you learn a lot of things about football, and you learn a lot of things about, how to hit somebody or tackle or block or whatever it is. But just their example of hardworking men that find a way to give back to society by coaching football. And, I've coached for free. I just love football, and I love working with kids. My dream back in the day was I was going to have a regular job. I studied computer science. I was going to have a regular job and then go help the local high school wherever I lived, because that's just the way to give back, because that's, I go all the way back, man, I'm thinking about a lot of names. Frank Link was a Little League baseball coach that I had 30, 40 years ago. They're all tremendous men that found a way to give back to young people. But to get back to your original question, I mean, those are the guys that I think of why I coach and why I work with young people. And it's just, a good deal. Now, when you talk about football, learned a lot from Kyle Whittingham when I was a GA up at Utah. I worked with Coach Norm Chow and learned a lot about, football from him. It's just every single person you take something from. But I can't say enough about those guys nobody's ever heard of that just find a way to give back to young people.
Coach, what are you hoping to learn from your team by the end of spring football in 2021?
I'm not going to have any hand in this, but the quarterback challenge that we're going to have is going to be exciting to watch. I think you got 3 players or so. Maybe there's more, but yeah, there's 3 guys that I know of that, are going to be exciting to watch. But personally on the defense, it's just coming together. We do lose, some leadership on this team. We lose our quarterback. We lose, Kairos Tonga, who's just tough. We lose, Isaiah Kafusi, who always kind of knew the right thing to say, and Warner, and we lose some guys. But, who's going to step up and kind of be the new leader? How's this team going to come together? All those things is just the natural evolution of every single team every year. Personally for the linebackers, just how each individual player is going to take the next step, and what are they going to do in this month of March to improve their game and how they play, whether it's tackling or defeating a block or whatever. So there's a lot of scenarios there, but I think the one that everyone's going to concentrate on is how the quarterback battle's taking place, and I'll leave that to Coach Roderick, and he can deal with all that.
In your tour of Utah, we feel confident that Provo will be the top destination for you, Coach. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, tremendous kids. Like I said, very fulfilling. I was just coming down and helping out, last season, and I felt driving home every day that, I was stealing. I wasn't getting paid anything, but I felt I was stealing. I just felt so fulfilled working with these guys, and so, I can't say enough about that.
Coach, it's great to get to know more about you. We look forward to discussing BYU football with your brilliant football mind. Thanks for the time.
Brilliant. Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Kevin Clune on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.